This is just a quick little video about this little TV I used to use. Going through and kind of doing some January cleaning, and I don't really use this anymore. I replaced it with a real TV, but it's still kind of adorable, and I wanted to, I guess, show it. This, I believe, came with either a in-car DVD player or possible in-car VCR. It has on the back here 6-inch car TV and monitor, ultra thin TFT, 12 volts. Apparently it'll run on PAL or NTSC, and it has no serial number, so you know this is the highest quality. I think there was a little, see those, they had like a little mount that would strap around the headrest of one of the front seats for the kids in the back, and then I think this just slid on top of it. But it also has one of those 1/4-inch screw mounts for, you know, cameras and things like that. So I just have these crappy little tripods for digital cameras that I was using on it. And I bought this at a thrift store just because it looked cool. Little built-in antenna. And what's nice is you have your earphone jack. Focus. 12-volt barrel jack, a little positive in the middle, so you can use. This is a very common barrel size. I think this hard drive was from like an old external, or this power supply was from an old external hard drive. And on this side you have the everything connector, AV, DC, and antenna. Now, I don't know if that's DC in or out because it has in on the other side. Possibly that's DC in and you'd have like a centralized system. Antenna, which I'm not using, and then AV. So what I did is I opened this up or metered it out or something and just used, this is just a PS2 connector. A DIN PS2 connector. See if we can get some, there we go. And all I did was I just broke off that little central plastic guide and one of the other pins so that it would fit in this kind of non-standard connector. On this one the guide is more centered and it's missing one of the pins over there. So figured out which pins are audio and video in, as well as ground, and did a real shitty job soldering everything together here. Just quality. Look at that. It's wonderful. It's great when you don't give a shit. And put on this little AV cable. And this actually has been working quite well for me. This is how I even had the antenna hooked up. I didn't even bother putting it through the PS2 connector. So just a alligator clip to the center lead of a coax going to there. And with the size of the TV, it really doesn't matter. So here's the thing that I thought was really weird when I first powered this on. Take a look at the channel numbering. There's 20 channels including 0. And there's an auto button. So what it does is those are presets. There are no tuned channels. This doesn't have like a channel lock tuning. This is like old school where you'd have a couple presets on a VCR or TV that you would tune in. I know a lot of European models had that. Might even still have that. And so this is even remembering some of the presets I put in there. But if I go to 0 and hit auto, so now it starts tuning, looking for channels. And you can actually watch it as it tunes around. So it says it's found 2 channels on VHF. I don't know, it was VHF 1, 2, and 3. As far as I'm aware, there's only 2 VHF. Then it goes through UHF. And so it'll remember all the stations and put them into presets. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, sorry. It's tuning each channel. So it just, now it's doing channel preset 4. Seems to be some noise on there. Huh. Wonder what's causing that. And we're done. So if we go back Oh, that's weird. Doesn't really like these stations that much. Well, I mean, it could also be my crappy little antenna connector.
And he also said he didn't know what people were doing, including staffers. Well, as it turns out, it's chief of staff.
It also will pick up a lot of FM on there too at the edge of the VHF low band. So I believe that's probably CBC radio mixed with something else.
The Senate opposition leader, of course, he released a holiday greeting online in which he talked about how Canadians.
So, what I also like about this is it does have a direct AV. So, we'll just plug this in to a VCR that happens to be nearby. And there we go. Very, very useful. Perfect. So yeah, it's not a very good TV. The color reproduction is pretty poor. It's pretty washed out. It's very reflective. So it's not a great TV as a TV goes. It's very reflective. I can't imagine how bad this would have been in a car. Color is a little bit washed out. It looks better on the camera than it does in real life. I don't know if that's just... Yeah, I think the camera's sitting lower than I am. But you can really see how the viewing angle on this just changes. It might be meant to be looked at from a lower angle. I know LCDs always have the one bad angle, and a lot of them will use the lower portion. Like computer monitors would always use the lowest, like looking from the bottom as the bad angle, because they would assume you're looking from the sides and the top. This one might assume that you're looking from the bottom and make the top the worst, in which case it's washing out when I look like that. But, I mean, for testing stuff, especially just carrying this around and then plugging it in, like I still use this when I'm checking the channels over there just to see if there's a signal missing or something. The only thing is I wish it had a proper tuner, because relying on these presets doesn't tell me everything I want to know. Like if auto doesn't pick it up or doesn't pick it up very well, then it's kind of, it doesn't tell me as much as I want to know. And I guess it would have been nice if I had, hook the antenna up to this as well, but I don't know how good that would have been going through the same connector. Anyway, I don't know. I just thought I'd show this little Vivid LCD TV. Actually, you know what? Let's test it out with PAL. Well, I don't know how compatible with PAL this is. What I did is I grabbed this HDMI upscaling VCR, plugged in HDMI, hooked it up to this HDMI to composite converter, and set it to PAL. And then I'm spitting it out to the TV, and I have a picture, but I don't have any color. If I switch it to NTSC, see, I've got color there. If I switch it over, you clearly lose all color. It's black and white. But it's getting the lines correct. The 620, 625, 675, the more lines of resolution that the PAL has. So, yeah. I guess I could always use this if I have something that outputs PAL, either on RF or composite.